Have you ever wondered why some indie artists just keep winning with no viral hits or no crazy budgets, yet they're always booked, paid, and they're growing every year? Well, it's not luck and it's not hype. It's a system that they're running, one that most indie labels never build because they're too focused on chasing the next release instead of creating a predictable business. My goal with this video is to help you understand that this simple three-part system is the key to unlocking consistent growth and opportunity in your career. Now, I learned a part of this system from other businesses. I'll just be real. But as you know, the music industry is just a tad bit different because we sell intangible products that are based on emotion. However, none of this is theory because all of it has been used since the beginning of the recording industry. So when I go through this, all you gotta do is just swap out streaming for the radio and you will find the same thing. So let's address system number one, or part of the system, which is the sustainer. Now, a lot of you all know how you get frustrated with streaming services because they pay so little and you can't really survive off them until later in your career. The reason for that is they are designed to sustain your career, not for immediate surviving. So that's the mistake that a lot of us are making here. So you'll want to use streaming as a sustainer to pay for your operating expenses in your personal record label when starting. It's designed for the record label to survive month to month, not the artist. Picture it like pressing a note on a piano with the sustain pedal down. Eventually, the note dissipates and you will have to press the key again to get a new sound. So if you do not feed the sustainer rhythmically, which is the streaming platforms, then all of your money and your attention will dissipate and you will have to start over. However, once you get into a rhythm of releases, you will notice your money begin to eventually grow, and then it begins to stack and compound. So all you have to do is decide if you're going to run a twice a month, once a month, or every 2 month schedule. And this will give you time to build your promo materials and also time for you to build your momentum so your audience can get used to the schedule of how you like to release records, all right? Eventually you can chill out and relax and all of that, but it's not hard to do. You just gotta create a cache of 3 times the amount of records you plan to release for the year, pick the winning records, and then press go, because streaming is designed to sustain your personal record label, not your personal life. So question is, how do we get to the point of sustaining the personal life? In comes system number 2, the booster, which is direct to consumer stuff. Now, a lot of you guys may be thinking, well, if streaming money is for sustaining until it can pay for survival later down the line, what's the next option, right? Well, a booster is the key, and these are known as direct to consumer products. These give your business a massive cash injection after you've built consistent momentum and demand with streams. It's like achieving a power-up in a video game. We got our 1-up mushrooms, you get your nitro boost, whatever it is. If you don't take advantage of your power-ups that you've gained in the game, then you might not survive the level or the next level or even get to it. So it's important to create at least a digital album to sell, but the physicals and the merch will also make great use of the demand. However, when you do take advantage of this direct-to-consumer option, you will gain the cash necessary to actually start surviving. That's why it's called a booster. You see what I'm saying? Now, all you gotta do at minimum is come up with a digital album product experience. This is my first one that I like to do for most people who are just getting started with direct to consumer. Then you wanna address the physical album and its product experience, and then you wanna move into merchandise product experience. I probably would go from digital album to merchandise to physical. Now, if you think people won't buy, they will. 20% of your active audience is made up of supporters and fanatics that will buy at any given time. You just have to give them a reason to do so. A booster is designed to give you cash to build the next product, something streaming will not always be able to do. And as a bonus, boosters can also show up in the game as sync placements, all right? Again, those are like bonus power-ups in the game. We gotta have this stuff. So far we've covered sustainers and boosters, but this next part is where most of you guys will kind of lose stability, pun intended. These are called stabilizers. So stay with me. And side note, if you need a strong business foundation to run these systems that I'm talking about on, especially with funding, grab my 60-day record label system, complete with my funding partners to fund some of this merch and these products that you're gonna need to create. Have you ever wondered how some artists don't seem to be worried at all about unexpected outcomes and they have money to keep going? Well, it's because their personal record label is stabilized with a stabilizer. The solution is to create a membership or a monthly recurring revenue source that can generate more money than a stream, but also one that doesn't cost so much that people have to cancel. That's the game right there. Okay. If you don't do that, you won't be able to stabilize your personal record label, and you will be working overtime on sustaining and boosting to survive. That's a lot of work right there. You know what I'm saying? However, if you do it right, surviving becomes easier. Now we can like kick back, you know what I'm saying? Do all that right there. All you got to do is create a subscription model that could be a content as a subscription type of situation, or you can create a membership model, which is a community and perks type of situation. Or you can create a consumables model, which is a fans use up all the value and then they got to come back and rebuy. Now, this is not hard to do in the grand scheme versus struggling to sustain your label and boost it. You see what I'm saying? So I want you to create a release rhythm for sustaining, design a booster product to sell, and create a monthly recurring model to stabilize the entire operation. The goal is to truly understand what this three-part system is and what it can do to help you not only survive, but thrive. The real question isn't should you do this? I really mean how much longer can you afford not to do this, especially if your music doesn't suck. Now, if you need help with devising a strategy, I want you to book a call with me. They're back open, so you can get them below, or join our group strategy calls every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time inside the Music Money Makers community. Click below to join. A lot of people are finding success in that community now. Plus, it's a great place to network and learn from everybody in there. Now, don't put out more records than you have to. If you record 120 records in a year, 24 records is more than enough to put out each year. You put out one single every month, you put out 12 songs on one album each year. Trust me, it's enough if you're doing what you need to do. If you think people won't buy, they will. Remember, 20% of your active audience is made up of supporters and fanatics that will buy at any given time. You just have to give them a reason to do so. And finally, creating a stabilizer product is not hard to do in the grand scheme of things versus struggling to sustain your label with streams and boost it constantly by dropping this product, that product. You're gonna burn out. By all means, go do your research. But attempting to survive on streaming without these other products is really going to take a toll on your strength and mental determination to keep going, causing you to wallow around in confusion and ultimately say, you know, man, forget it, man, I quit. This is stupid. You know what I'm saying? The game is rigged. It's not for independence, man. If you know how to get money, you can get it, because plenty of people are getting it. But at the end of the day, if you were struggling with sustaining, boosting, or stabilizing your personal record label, you now know what to do to survive and thrive in this record industry. Music Money Makers, if you make music, you should always make money. Log on to musicmoneymakeover.com, grab the 60-day record label system, complete with my funding partners, join the Music Money Makers community, book a call, grab the free stuff below, and watch this next video right over here to save your career. And I'll see you next time. Peace.